You're working 15 hours a day. You're tired. You're stressed. You're telling everyone you're building, and your bank account is still stuck. At some point, that stops being motivational and starts being humiliating. I know that feeling. Refreshing Stripe. Refreshing bank balance. Convincing yourself next month will be different, while secretly wondering, what am I doing wrong? Here's the truth nobody wants to say out loud. If you're grinding 15 hours a day and still not profitable, you don't have a work ethic problem. You have a structure problem. And the scary part? Hard work hides structural weakness. Because when you're exhausted, you don't question the system. You blame yourself. I did this for years. I thought being tired meant I was on the right path. It doesn't. Sometimes it just means you're multiplying the wrong thing. Hours don't fix broken systems. They amplify them. If the structure is strong, you scale. If the structure is weak, you burn. And most founders are burning quietly. Let me say something that might sting. You don't lack effort. You lack depth. You skim everything. You know a little about marketing, a little about sales, a little about branding, a little about funnels. You're aware, but you're not dangerous. You attend webinars. You bookmark threads. You test random tactics. But you've never gone so deep into one lever that the market has no choice but to respect you. You're busy, but not sharp. And here's the trap. Movement feels like mastery. It feels productive. It feels like progress. But the market doesn't pay for motion. It pays for outcomes. And outcomes come from depth. Anyone can be a generalist. The internet is full of them. But specialists? People who own one thing completely? They're rare. And rare is what gets remembered, rewarded, and referred. Stop being aware of everything. Start being dangerous at something. Now let's talk about something that hurts even more. Some of you are playing in the wrong arena. Wrong market. Wrong audience. Wrong ecosystem. You're trying to sell premium thinking to people negotiating survival. Or you're competing globally with standards that aren't global. That's not ambition. That's misalignment. And misalignment drains you slowly. You work harder. You push more. You blame the competition, the economy, the algorithm. But the real issue is simpler and more painful than any of those excuses. You're in an environment that doesn't recognize, appreciate, or reward your value. And no amount of hustle fixes a structural problem. Geography is leverage. Audience quality is leverage. Distribution is leverage. The people you sell to, the platforms you build on, the markets you enter. These decisions compound over time, quietly shaping your ceiling. If your environment doesn't reward excellence, you will grind endlessly and wonder why effort isn't translating. That's not a mindset problem. That's math. Now this one is brutal. You might be betting on the wrong people. I've done this. Partnered because it felt comfortable. Hired because I liked them. Avoided confrontation because I didn't want tension. And slowly, the business became heavy. Every decision required extra energy. Every execution felt slower than it should. Sometimes your biggest bottleneck has a face, and you know it, but you don't want to deal with it. Now here's the part that really hits. Even if you fix your team, even if you change markets, even if you get more disciplined, you might still struggle because your output quality doesn't justify your expectations. You want premium income with average execution. You want authority with inconsistent delivery. You want freedom with reactive planning. That equation never works. Ever. Let me simplify this. There are 5 levers that turn effort into profit. If one leaks, everything leaks. Depth. Are you truly a lead at something that matters? Or just slightly above average at everything? Above average competes. Elite dictates. Environment. Does your market reward excellence? Or punish it? If you're operating in a weak ecosystem without distribution power, you will grind twice as hard for half the return. Skill stack. Are you learning to remove bottlenecks? Or learning to feel productive? Consuming business content feels good. Fixing your offer is uncomfortable. Guess which one pays? Execution integrity. This one is subtle and deadly. You plan like a CEO. You execute like you're distracted. You say you'll do deep work, but you check notifications. You say you'll improve product, but you redesign branding. You say you'll build assets, but you chase short-term cash. I've wasted months like this. It feels productive. It's not. Avoidance dressed as activity. And avoidance compounds. Value amplification. Are your clients measurably better because of you? Or just satisfied? Satisfied is replaceable. Transformative is rare. If your work doesn't increase revenue, speed, leverage, or clarity, you are competing on price. and price competition will exhaust you. Here's something I had to admit to myself. I wasn't stuck because I lacked effort. I was stuck because I repeated the same year 3 times. Same revenue band. Same thinking. Same excuses. Same emotional patterns. I called it persistence. It was stagnation. No real audit. No structural redesign. Just effort. And effort without redesign is just noise. The real shift happens when you stop asking, how do I work harder? And start asking, what structural weakness is draining my effort? That question changes everything. Operators don't grind randomly. They redesign leverage. They remove friction. They cut weak links. They increase value per hour. They build assets. They measure outcomes. Motivation feels powerful. Structure builds wealth. If your calendar is chaotic, your income will be unstable. That's not philosophy. That's mechanics. Now here's the part that should scare you. If you continue like this for 2 more years, you won't just be tired. You'll be resentful. And resentment kills ambition. Because once you believe nothing works, you stop experimenting intelligently. You stop upgrading. You lower your standards quietly. And then you normalize being stuck. Not because you're incapable, but because you stopped redesigning. That's the real danger. Not being broke. Becoming okay with it. Here's the good news. You don't need to become a different person. You need structural honesty. Audit the last 90 days. Not emotionally. Operationally. What skill did you deepen? What asset did you build? What system did you improve? What measurable client result improved? If the answers are vague, your 15-hour days are leaking. Effort without structure is self-deception. And the market always exposes self-deception. You don't need more hours. You need more leverage per hour. Because if you're going to work 15 hours a day, it should compound, not drain you. And the difference between the two is structure. If this hit different, smash that like button. Share this with someone who needs to hear it right now. And if you're serious about fixing what's actually broken, subscribe to the missing pieces, because the answers you've been missing, they're right here.